round 2 of let's talk about my books, part 4. I started filming this earlier, but 9 minutes on one book is a lot. So anyway, and then I'm trying to talk about 4. So let's see how this works this time. So the Hastings Siblings series. You have, I hate when my tablet does that. The Consequences of Being Aiden, followed by The Trouble with Chasing Eileen, The Problem with Finding Ashlyn, and The Issue with Dating Aiden. So up first we have Being Aiden. Now, Being Aiden is actually about siblings Aiden and Ansley. But there's a reason I titled the book the way that I did. So, there are 4, like I said, 4 siblings. Aiden and Ansley are book 1 and 4. Eileen and Ashlyn are book 2. And Ashlyn is also book 3. But Ashlyn's book 3 is a lot shorter than the other by about 1,000 words or so. So, 10,000 words or so. I have to look it up. I released Being Aiden in 2017. So it has been through at least one edit when I had these covers redone. It starts off, it is Aiden's 18th birthday. His immediately younger sister, who they're Irish twins, born within the same year, but they're born within the same school year. So, like, Aiden was born in August, and Ansley was born in, like, May or June. Just enough to keep them in the same school year. Pair them off. They are the sibling friends that you want to see. Only, So Ansley is in her room with her shut door, getting ready for Aiden's family birthday dinner. When Aiden comes in without knocking, which of course annoyed her because he came in without knocking. She was getting ready to go. Of course, she was picking out dresses, but she's getting ready to go to his dinner. And he came in without knocking after she told him repeatedly to knock first. So what does she do? She threw a book at him. Well, this isn't much of a surprise. Ansley is the bookwormiest bookworm character that I've ever written. Her room is filled with books from the used bookstore. I mean, all across the genres, except for probably nonfiction. I don't see her reading nonfiction. She's got young adult in there. She's got the classics. She has got children's lit. She has got a little bit of everything all over her room. Because she is a bookworm, she's an introvert, and sometimes when she's forced to go to like basketball and baseball games with her brother because of his best friend, she finds it easier to just sit there and read a book while everybody else is paying attention to the game. We all know somebody like that. If you don't, you really should, because, I mean, bookworms are awesome. So, she flings Shakespeare's Twelfth Night at her brother. And of course he catches it because boys. And it gives him an idea. Because Aiden had double booked himself and needed her help. And he was just coming in to ask her for a favor. And he absolutely manipulates her into this favor. We don't know what she owed him. I think I referenced it in book 4. But she owes him a favor. And he asks her to repay the favor. And in doing so, he absolutely and utterly manipulates his sister. So, he had double booked himself. He's supposed to go on a movie date with his girlfriend and have a dinner with his best friend who he is tutoring in English and should not be tutoring in English. And some of his other friends that aren't really friends. And so he says, alright, if you do this for me, we're kaput. We're done. We don't. All favors are equalized. We're done. You don't owe me anything else anymore. So she agrees. She goes to the pizza place dressed as her brother while Aiden is going to the movies with his girlfriend, Skylar. And of course, the best friend, Brendan, knows the moment Ainsley walks through the doors, and he is wondering, why is Ainsley dressed like her brother? Because Aiden and Skylar are matchmaking. I'll spoil that. It gets revealed later, but they are matchmaking. Because Aiden is fully aware that his best friend has a crush on his little sister. And he is fully aware that his little sister cannot stand his best friend. Because she's not aware that Brendan has a crush on her. But Aiden's figured it out. Because Brendan is acting like another overprotective brother. And Ainsley's just like, I don't want it. No. Now, Consequences does touch on some tough topics like toxic friends and toxic relationships, abusive relationships, emotionally abusive relationships. The best friend is toxic. Later, she is diagnosed with, I believe it was histrionic personality disorder. And while in the book her actions may seem overdramatic and overly played to fit in with the rom-coms that I was inspired by, it's an actual mental health issue. And Ainsley ends up dating somebody who turns out to be Brendan's cousin. And he is just as bad, if not worse, than Zoe, because Drew is just a selfish, spoiled brat. So it does deal with that. And then there is an accident that leaves, I'll spoil it. But, Being Aiden was inspired by a mashup of, obviously, Shakespeare's Twelfth Night and Great Gatsby. And it's like part 1 is Twelfth Night, part 2 has Gatsby elements in it once the pretending to be her brother thing is dropped. I'll be right back. So that was book 1. Book 2, Chasing Ashlyn. I'm sorry. No. I was right the first time. Book 2, Trouble with Chasing Eileen. Eileen's had some pretty rocky relationships, so she's sworn off relationships. So this is heavy on moving on after heartbreak. And then the new boy comes to town, or his senior year. And the whole thing starts off with a case of mistaken identity. The youngest Hastings' daughter went on a date with Max. And his brother's not too happy because he thinks that Ashlyn, blew off his brother. And instead, she did, but that's what she does. So he goes to the library where he is told Ashlyn is at, because that's where the car is that Ashlyn and Eileen share. And he goes up to Eileen, mistakes her for Ashlyn, and chews her out good. I forgot his name. I had to look it up. Anyway, so, Ashlyn, that's how Ashlyn and Noah meet, and he goes and he realizes his mistake and he apologizes, but she's gonna hold that grudge because she's just used to guys acting like a jerk, cheating on her, all that other stuff, and it's a tough point of view when I'm playing with a pair of tweezers. That is a tough point of view when you're a high school senior. All of her friends were like, just give him a chance, he's not like the other guys. And Meanwhile, Ashlyn is going around. She's dating everybody. She doesn't care. She's having fun. That's what high school's for, right? That's what she thinks high school's for. having fun, figuring out what you like, figuring out what you don't like, and all that other stuff. And then she meets Max. I call the other guy Max. I forgot Noah's brother's name. Be right back. Noah and Macon. M-A-C-O-N. Anyway, then she meets Max. He's been in several of her classes. She just never recognized him before. And she doesn't know how to react because he actually likes her. And she likes him, and it scares her. So she backs off. So, a lot of book 2 is Eileen getting over her fear of commitment in relationships. And a lot of book 2 is Ashlyn learning that you don't have to date every single person in high school. And that causes a problem for the problem with finding Ashlyn. And it's not about a guy finding her. It's actually about herself finding herself. Because she has been the flirt the entire time. And then, because she turns down the wrong person, the quarterback of the football team, because she turns him down in favor of somebody in the band, he starts a rumor. A not true rumor, but that's what it is. And it ruins her reputation. And her best friend starts dating somebody that does not like Ashlyn. And all she really has in her corner is Max. She has to figure out how to love herself again. And to not care about what others think of her before dealing with dating anybody. Then the 4th book ties everything together. This is the only one that does not take place in a senior year of high school. This one takes place in senior year of college. Ainsley has just graduated. Brendan is about to graduate. They are engaged. Oops, spoiler. But I mean, book 1 was out since 2017. So, and their romances, you know, they have a happy ending. But Aiden's got an issue. And it's the fact that his ex-girlfriend from high school is invited to be part of Ainsley's wedding. Because Ainsley and Skylar remain friends. And added to the fact that his best friend is about to move out of their shared apartment. And he's going to have to pay for rent. So, this 5th year senior decides, well, things have got to change. So he is in his last semester, or last year. He decides to take some summer classes and sits right next to Emily. And they make awesome friends, just right off the bat. Their friendship is just... But the problem is, Emily is realizing that she has had absolutely no social life. And she'd like a little bit of a social life. She's focused on her studies so much. And Aiden just does not want anybody trying to set him up for Ainsley's wedding. He wants to finish his senior year strong, get a job, and then he'll worry about dating again. So, this book has the fake dating trope. But how long are they really going to be fake dating? Especially when they're living together. Separate bedrooms, but they're still living together. And it ends with a bunch of realizations and Ainsley's wedding. Yeah, Ainsley's wedding. And, of course, it will tell you what happened with Eileen and Noah and Ashlyn and Max and how all that ends. And I might do a bonus short story with all of them later, a few years down the line. But I got a buttload of series I have to finish first, like the Jane Austens and the Enchanted Forests and the Bookworms and all that before I worry about adding anything else to the Hastings series. But at the moment, Hastings Siblings series is 100% complete. I think all the bows are nicely tied together. And honestly, I think it is a highly underrated series. At the very least, try books 1 and 4. You don't necessarily need 2 and 3. Or you can read just 2 and 3. Aside from the stories interconnecting with each other, it's like 2 duologies in a series. Like 1 and 4, 2 and 3. And that's all you really need to know. So, if you decide to pick it up, which I hope you do, they are available at all major ebook retailers. They're in Kobo Plus. Just try them out. And Consequences of Being Aiden is on my list of books that I'm going to be reading aloud and posting on the YouTube channel. So, that's still going to be a little while because I have to get through several, at least the first book of reading that one out loud. So, happy reading. I hope you give it a try. I think it'll be worth it. The people that have found it have found it worth it. It's got a pretty decently high Goodreads review score. Happy reading. Stay warm. And, yeah. Have a good long weekend.